Hello, students. Congratulations on finishing Polarity. This game's pretty fun. I mean, I just sat here playing it for the last 10 minutes trying to beat my high score, and I failed miserably. It gets hard really quick, and those phase charges, boy, they come in handy. But when you run out and you smack into a spike, game over. It's a bad feeling. Well, in this video, you might be sitting here going, well, what's next? Now that I've beaten or I've wrote this game, I can play it, but what could I do to add more to this game to make it really feel like my own? And so in this video, I want to give you just some final ideas where you could take our game that we built together and make it your own game. So let's head to the computer screen and let's dive right in. So here is my finished version of Polarity with all of our systems in place. We have gravity inversion. We have a stability resource system. We have a difficulty ramp that is increasing the difficulty of our game, spawning spikes, making them move faster. We have phase charges that we can pick up. We have power-up shields that destroy spikes with a hit freeze time. We have all of this stuff going on. We have linear interpolation for color transformations. And then, of course, we've got our game over here. So the first thing that I would maybe add to this game is maybe some different types of spikes. Like right now, we're just creating one singular spike at a time. All right, and they're all kind of the same. They're just random width, random height within a given range. But you could create extra tall spikes, maybe some spikes that drop all the way down here or all the way up here that are very challenging to avoid, or short rapid fire spikes. So instead of just having one spike, you could create a sequence of 1, 2, 3 spikes all in a row. And I think that this is maybe a natural extension of our game because we already have an array to hold all of our spike objects. We have spike spawning, we have spike scrolling, and we have the collision detection for spikes already in place. The next thing that maybe you would want to add is some type of score multiplier. So right now we are only tracking our runtime, but maybe we could build a score system where the longer we go, the more points we earn. For every phase pickup we get, points are earned. For every spike we destroy with a phase charge, we could earn points. And we might actually get a multiplier. So if you have one phase, you earn a certain amount of points each second. If you have 2 phases, you earn more points. 3 points is even more. And there is that level of multiplying our scores. I think a score system is really great because we're already tracking like our runtime seconds, the number of phase charges, and all of those things that could go into creating a score system. Next idea, we currently have one pickup in our game, and that is our phase charges. And it's pretty powerful. I mean, I think the game would be much more challenging without it. So you could create more pickups. So some pickups that you could have in this game that could appear randomly could maybe slow stability drain or give you extra phase capacity. So like right now, I can only hold 3 phase charges. Maybe you get a boost where you can have a 4th or a 5th, or you could have a phase charge or a pickup that destroys all mountains, all spikes on the screen at a given time. So it could like clear out the area of any spikes for a given amount of time. I think this pickup system is pretty feasible because you know how to spawn objects into the game, right? You can generate their data, spawn that data, and then update that data. We've seen that system. And so it'd be no different than spawning a phase pickup to spawn maybe like a spike bomb that wipes out the spikes for a certain amount of time. Another thing that you could add, which would be really kind of neat, right now we have one hazard, right? We have spikes, but you could also create hazards that are lane-based hazards or midpoint hazards. Imagine if you had something moving across the center of the screen, maybe like a laser beam that you had to avoid, and if you hit it, you'd have to consume a phase charge or potentially die. So all of our hazards right now are locked to the ceiling line Y or floor line Y, but we could easily create hazards that are locked to different parts of the game world, and that would give another layer of difficulty for the player to avoid. I think that this works well because we already have pretty strong movement and positioning for our player. Our player is pretty maneuverable, so we'd be able to avoid any new sort of obstacle system that we put into our game. And then lastly, the last idea I had was maybe we create like a boss wave or a special like overload event. So something could trigger a special challenge where our spike density increases dramatically. So instead of just, creating one spike every 0.98 seconds, if there is an event that happens where it cuts this time in half, so now our spikes spawn every, half a second, we'd get a greater density of spikes. Or you could surge the scroll speed. So right now, maybe it would just boost up to like 2,000 pixels per second for a short duration of time. That could be a nice little like boss event to signify maybe the end of a level or a transitioning to a different part of your game. And this is a strong next step because we already have time tracking, our ramp values to scale our difficulty, and we're scaling our speed and our hazard spawning based off of that ramp. We would just have to create like some multipliers to work within those values. So I think that gives you a great starting point to take this game and continue building it with your own ideas and your own creativity and make it something that is truly your own. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to just play these games. We want to build them. And that involves you coming up with your ideas and seeing those ideas turn into lines of code, and those lines of code making real changes in the games that you are playing. So I hope you had fun in this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next lesson.